Hey y'all, welcome to week 2 of the Artist Way. I got my book right here because I just got home and I listened to week 2 this morning. Um so yeah, what we'll do is we'll check in on how week 1 went, and we'll get into week 2 after that. And then I know I sent um the email for week 1 last night, but I wonder, did anybody get a chance to listen to or read The Beginner's Mind in the Creative Act?
I literally just started a little bit ago.
Okay,
I'm on the second to uh yeah, the third to last page.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah, I didn't listen to it, but I started to read it.
okay. Basically, to sum it up, he talked about this super complicated strategy game that's been going on for thousands of years, and they trained a robot to learn how to play it. And there's this one move that the robot did that was like impossible. And so basically, all of that to say is that the robot was able to do a possibility that humans couldn't come up with because it had a beginner's mind, whereas humans, especially the people that have been taught how to play that game in particular, they were going off of what they had been taught and stuff like that. So the robot was able to calculate something that um, I guess the logical mind wouldn't have, or the human mind rather, wouldn't have been able to come up with. And Rick Rubin used that as an example of uh, because he was saying like the robot had no bias because it hadn't been taught by a human. Um, so basically, when you approach your creative stuff with a new mind and not having any exhibitions, you're able to access more possibilities. I believe he talks about becoming like a child, and I feel like either Julia talked about that or Rick Rubin, or maybe they both did at the same time, but like how children don't hold themselves back. I think it may have been Rick Rubin. He was like, children and animals, like whatever they feel, they they just feel what they need to feel. Like when a child has a song that comes through, um, they don't care about whether they're off pitch and stuff. Yes, and Kyra said Julia talks about the artist child too. So, um, the artist child and the artist lover is so real when you get into this recovery. And Kyra said, innocence brings forth innovation, Rick Rubin. Yes, and my son has been a good example of that. Like, he's been making songs and he's been freestyling and stuff. And I'm listening to him and I was like, oh, he gets that from me. Like, even just how he like freestyles. And so it's kind of like a permission slip to like start doing that again. Um, yeah, I used to freestyle a lot in high school. Um, and then I got shy or whatever. I really feel like Instagram coming in, like the beginning of Instagram and social media, like really coming in as hard as it did during my 20s. And like in your 20s, you're so self-conscious about everything. Like you think that you're like so cool, but like really you're still like a nervous wreck like a teenager. And I feel like social media happening at that time just really it messed with my self-esteem. So I'm bringing that up again to make sure that that's something that I block um, as we move through this book club. And that kind of makes me want to talk about the one of the tasks that Julia talks about for week one, where you list your old enemies of your creative self-worth. So I would say social media will be one of mine. And then the other people would be my exes. Like all of my exes have been my biggest haters. Like this just sucks. This just sucks so bad. Um, and I feel like being messy by saying it out loud, but I feel like my biggest hater out of all my exes was Q Love. Um, he when I was recording, when I was recording a song, I finally like booked the studio, wrote the song, found the beat on YouTube, went to the studio, and it was a friend of his studio, and I recorded the song. And I'm there trying to find my voice, and he literally made fun of my voice. He was like, you trying to sound British or whatever. And mind you, like him being a rapper, like I never made fun of how he sounded. Like, and he sounded crazy. Like, and everybody sounds crazy when they're like in the process of making a song. Like, a lot of us get the end result, but like everybody sounds crazy when they're making a song. And so he made fun of my voice. He was like, "Ugh, you trying to sound British or whatever." But even the tone that I'm saying it wasn't as like mean as he said it. Like he was such a hater. And then like we we broke up like not too long after that. You know how like men get really mean when y'all are about to break up. But all that to say, that is one thing that like I remember. So he's definitely in my Monster Hall of Fame. So I would like y'all to share any old enemies that came along your path. So even if you didn't do the exercise, this will give you an opportunity to like call them out. So if anybody wants to share, if nobody wants to share,
I
then we'll move on.
Okay, I was trying to think because I know I had what I wrote down before, but it's like I'm kind of past it, like at this point, but I was thinking of another one that I could add on, and I guess it's like I feel like everybody could relate to this. It's not like a big deal monster, but I would say like I don't know the word for it, but like uh I don't know. I guess not having the means or funds to do something and whatever that is that it creates in your process of doing something. Like at one point I wanted to go to the Art Institute, and I had a meeting and everything, and I remember looking at the tuition and being like, "Oh, well, we can't afford that." And it's like, ew. But I mean, I knew our circumstances at the time, like what me and my mom were experiencing. So I feel like that little monster has come and gone occasionally of like, oh, you don't have the money for it, or you can't do like a resource thing. So the word is not coming to me, but whatever that is a little monster that has come in here and there feeling like, oh well, you don't have the money for it, so you can't do it. Or like don't even think about doing that because you don't have money to do that. So that's like a opposition in a mindset, or like, because as Julia later says, God is unlimited. So it's like, so I'd say that would be one of mine.
Thank you so much for that, Kyra. Vulnerable share too, because like another book club I want to do, I just thought of it. I was like, I forgot my other book. I want to do like a money book. You're a badass at making money because yesterday I was feeling like she has this one module where she's like write a letter to money. And so what I would write to money right now is, dear money, I love you, but I always feel like I'm gonna lose you when I have you. Um, so I was like, ooh, I wonder if we would do a book club for that as well. Um, so your story just reminded me, but yeah, I feel like maybe even for that, I would probably do I forget the author's name, but I would probably do that practice of writing a letter to money and just like being like, dear money, and really saying how you feel. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
when you said it, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do that on the strength of all of
yeah,
this.
yes, friend. But
You muted yourself.
thank you. That's a tough one because you don't want money to be your enemy. Like, but it's not necessarily your enemy. It's that mindset, whatever like nagging mindset that is the enemy. But thank you for sharing. That's such a vulnerable share.
I guess
But
it's Black
it's so real.
mindset or, like survival kind of thing in that realm.
Hmm.
It's in that realm.
Yeah. That definitely fits into how recovering a sense of safety to me relates to the root chakra for this week. So thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else want to share an old enemy who came along their path? Okay, let's see. Mm. So I just shared the horror story from my monster. Um, I wonder if it would be helpful to draw a sketch of him or do the practice that she says, cartooning, trashing your monster, draw a red X to it. I'm open to doing some form of that. Um, but yeah, like Kyra said last time, I'm just like, that is so silly, Julia. I don't have time for that. Um, and then the next one says, write a letter to the editor in your defense. Mail it to yourself. It's a fun, it is great fun to write this letter in the voice of your wounded artist child. I would like to do that because I've been enjoying sending mail to friends, so I would like to mail myself. Um, list three old champions of your creative self-worth. Does anybody want to list any of their champions? Last time I mentioned that Grishby is one of my champions. Like, I'm so happy that he saw like when I was making music, like Grishby, and then the Q Love story was when me and Grishby used to live together. So he experienced Q Love, and I was when I was making music at the time, Grishby was so supportive. So I'm glad that I had like that. Even though I had like a whole hater, I was sleeping with a whole hater. I still had my friend cheer me on. Does anybody want to list their uh one of their champions or list all three of their champions?
Yeah, I'll say one of my champions. One of my champions was it's between two. I want to say Kanye, but like he's gone a little crazy. But I'm gonna say Kanye West. And then my other one was McQueen, but like both of them kind of, and I think it's okay. Like I don't want to say that they went out a certain way, but um, I'm gonna go with Kanye West because I've always felt like there's just a feeling inside of you when you know that you're um a little bit ahead of your time. So I've always been just drawn to that concept of Kanye West. So for the longest, since it was like eighth grade going into ninth grade, probably even seventh grade, Kanye West, like he's always just been like one of my champions, and it's very cool that he has a song called Champion. So yeah, that's mine.
I love that because I was listening to Kanye when I got in the shower. I was listening to the song called Bully. It's so good with CeeLo on it. And oh my God, if you, Grishby, if you haven't heard that song yet, please listen to it because he talks about the lyrics is like, when he tells the truth, all the castles in the sky come down. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's so true. It's like people fall apart when he like speaks. And so
Yeah,
basically uh the song is about what does it cost you to tell the truth? That's what he says in the lyrics. And I'm like, wow, that is so deep because, everybody's I mean it's very costly to not be truthful. Um but I do love how he takes it so far. And um I talk about him all the time, how he really uses his free will on earth, like, and that's really inspiring. But him being one of your champions inspires me to list celebrities as my champions because I never thought to even do that off of the practice. And also, Kanye says if you're a fan of him, you're a fan of yourself. So I totally, that's how I feel too. Like, because um, yeah, he really uses his free will. It's hailing outside, y'all. Um, but yeah, since you named some celebrities, that makes me want to name. Um, I would say Gaga is one of my champions, and I'm wearing a Gaga shirt right now. And yeah, so thank you for saying that because that opened up my mind to counting celebrities as champions as well. Let's see. Let's talk about the imaginary lives. I've been thinking about this all day. Like, what am I going to share for my imaginary lives? And she has a part where she says, don't overthink it. And I was thinking, I want to be Sway Lee. I love Sway Lee. I would want to be um, a perfumer. Like I've been enjoying the perfumers that I've been meeting at these fragrance parties. I would want to be a stripper, and so that's three. I want to be mm, I can't think of anything right now, but if anybody else wants to share what they would be in their five lives, however many you want to share, or yeah.
I put today dancer, actress, dominatrix, stylist, and botanist slash florist.
I love that. I would want to be a florist too. I miss working with flowers. And I love how you said dominatrix. So how she says, so what's one thing that you can do today so you can get closer to being a dominatrix?
I went to Priscilla McCall's with Grishby and I got a a flogger so I could whip somebody.
What? What? For real?
I'm so serious. After I assisted styling Grishby.
Oh, nice. I love
And
that.
then for my artist day, I got this old dancing warm-up tape to practice dancing. So
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
doing, I'm
Yeah.
taking steps to do the alternate lives. And I watered my orchid.
Okay. Okay. I love how y'all are so open and creative uh with like with things because like I do feel like sometimes I'm really like tunnel vision. So I'm so happy that instead of doing this book by myself that I can do it with y'all because it really helps me to like expand. Does anybody else want to share their imaginary lives? I think what I also struggle with is imaginary because I'm like, I don't want to say I want to be a rapper because I am a rapper, but like I haven't been to the studio in like like forever. So
Julia does say in the book that you're still an artist, even if you aren't making art.
very true, very true. But I guess like I'll still say I want to be a rapper because I just don't want to think too hard about it. And one thing that I can do today to start is go to the studio or write a song or find a beat off of YouTube. Does
And do what
anybody
you
else
did, like you like the beginner's mind and the innocence thing, and just record it on your phone.
and just record it on my phone and those are the things that are like the best. Like whenever the artist gets so big and like they get that $1 million studio session or equipment, like the fans be like, we missed the old blah 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 when you was recording off of your phone or whatever. I see it happen every time. So yes, you're so right. Does anybody else want to share your imaginary lives?
I can share. Um, can you hear me well? Yeah. Okay. Oh, the guy was working outside, but actually he left, so I can take these off. But anyways, this was one of the exercises that I loved the first time went through the artist way. I feel like before it was, I mean, I guess not surprisingly, they were all very creative things, which really surprised me. Of that there is a part of me. And it's actually a question that I ask people sometimes if, like getting to know each other more, I'll be like, if you could do anything service didn't matter, money didn't matter, what would you do? And it's really interesting to think about that. But anyways, this time it was actually interesting because it feels like they are more healing related than it was before. So anyways, one of them is like in a band, but I would specifically be the person who is writing the songs in the band, like the lyrics. Two is like a kind of like a traveling like tarot reader mystic. I think that'd be really cool. Um, then I also put an herbalist in the middle of the woods, like a hidden, like back in the time when like witches were like hiding in the woods. I feel like I would do that. Um, then I put painter. Uh, well, okay, anyways, I think I actually put 10. I mean six. Then plant medicine woman, like I've been thinking, because here in Mexico they have, Maria Sabana is like a famous mushroom person who there's a song about her called Maria la Curandera, and I think that's really cool. So, anyways, that, and then also I love musicals. So I put like working on a musical set, but I don't really know what I would do. Maybe like design or something. I don't know. Or maybe songs too. So yeah.
Thank you, Ariel. That is so cool. What are your favorite bands with a female lead singer?
Oh, that's a good question. One of them for sure is Florence and the Machine. I love Florence and the Machine. It's funny because I've been like nerding out more in music and just realizing that a lot of like my favorite musicians, I didn't realize they were kind of like poets. Like they write the music themselves. It's funny how you can, when you kind of dissect it more, that you realize you're gravitating towards the same things, but you don't realize that that's what you're doing. So she
Yeah.
definitely writes her songs and her lyrics. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Um, I there's this band with a female lead that I like called Night Tapes.
Right.
And she reminds me of like a new age uh Fleetwood Mac. Um
Mm.
yeah, and I saw them live last year and I feel like that was one of like the best concerts that I went to because she just had so much like life-giving energy and I just love the idea of because your band can have like male and female band members, but when I think of a female lead singer in my head, I think of all the other guys being men. And I just love the idea of like them being so devoted to like you being like the channeler for like the music that they're playing. Like Little Dragon is another example. Um, So yeah, I love that you named that. And then my other question was, um, what musicals do you like?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, it's funny because I've been taking singing classes and I keep referring, I don't know if anybody has seen The Phantom of the Opera, but I don't necessarily think the musical is like the most amazing musical, but the music is really good to Phantom of the Opera. Like it's so dramatic and moody and whatever. And when I'm doing like the singing, like, oh, ha, ha, I'm like, I feel like I'm in that song where she's like doing the practices and he's like, sing, sing. But I also really like Hamilton. Hamilton's really good. I feel like I like all of the ones I've seen. I mean, I was watching like the Wicked remakes. I love Wicked, the movies. Um, I'm trying to think of whenever I go to New York, I try to go to the like cheap ticket, like same day, get a cheaper ticket and go see. Oh, I saw there was one, I forgot the name of it, but it had the woman, like the singer, Nicole something from the Pussycat Dolls. She was in this um, musical on Broadway when I was there over the summer for Omega with Miriam. And so I went and took myself to see it because I got a discount ticket and it was really good. It was super good. So I'm
When
always
was
crying
that?
there. Over the summer, like July.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
And she actually, I think they won some type of award for that musical. It was really good. It was about like a person, she was an actor in the old days, but then, she was older. So there was a lot about like age and women and aging and like feeling after their prime and then people trying to become famous and doing all the things to follow their dreams and whether or not they actually get famous and whatever. So there was a lot of deep themes. And so I just think that they're very creative where they're like light and fun and music, but then also bring up these like deeper themes. So anyways, I love them.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. I'm definitely interested in that. Um I wanna see that because I love themes of womanhood like that. Another movie, not necessarily a musical, but another movie that comes to mind with those themes is The Substance with Demi Moore, I think that's her name. She she wanted to be young again because like as she was aging, like she couldn't get any more roles, and it gets super twisted, crazy. Sunset Boulevard. Thank you. Does anybody else? Thank you so much, Ariel. Oh, we got two Ariels. Hey, Ariel, Marie Hollins, Mariel Hollins' sister.
Hello.
Hi, thank
Can
you
you
for
hear me?
joining us.
You're welcome. Sorry, my baby sleep. um, Thank you for having me.
Yes,
I
I'm
kind
so
of
glad
missed
that
the
you're.
first week.
No, you're good. Um, so yeah, thank you for joining. What brings you to the artist way? Have you done the artist way before? What are you recovering and what are your mediums?
So, basically, my sister was like, "You should join this book club," and I'm like, "What book club?" And so she bought me the book, sent me the link, and like I said, I missed last week, but I'm here now. So I am listening and taking it in and seeing what it's all about. So this is my first time in a book club. So yeah, I'm here. I'm present.
That is so sweet, Mariel. Um, what is your artist modality or what modality are you wanting to call in by joining us?
Um, I'm all over the place. So my mainstream is aviation. Um, and then I have a new project that I'm working on for my coffee wine bar. So have that. And between those, and then, like I said earlier, I'm a new mom, so mastering motherhood while creating the new business as well as climbing up the career ladder in my field. So I'm on a lot of different spectrums. I just probably need to see how it all ties in together and see which way to go from there, pretty much. So,
Coffee wine sounds so cool. That's I'm into I'm into flavors and tasting
mhm.
things and stuff. So that's really exciting. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We are reviewing week one, going through all of the tasks that she talks about on page 39. Um, do you want to share any imaginary lives that you would want to live? She says list five of them. But if you can only think of like a few, then you can name those.
um,
I'm putting you on
Imaginary.
the spot.
Yeah, yeah, I was just gonna come in and just listen. Um, I don't have anything off the top. I mean, what I want is basically what everybody wants. I have work and travel the world all the time, and you know, sleep in, eat carbs, don't get big, drink wine, don't have hangovers. You know, things like that. But I know one girl mentioned something about being a dominant. What is it called? So
A
I don't have anything like
dominatrix.
a dominatrix. That's what it sounds to. I was like, oh yeah. So I'm just
I
living
love
reality
that. Do
right
you?
now.
I love that. You should follow some dominatrix on Instagram.
No,
It's
I don't
like,
want to do it.
oh.
I'm not there yet. I'm
It's
not there
just an
yet. No, no,
imaginary life.
no. No, I was saying that like I don't have anything like out there like that, So maybe when I get some free time, I can dream.
Okay.
So
You must have uh a newborn baby.
6 months,
Say that again.
6 months.
6 months? Oh my gosh, congratulations. You have a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Oh,
It's, it's a girl. It's
congratulations.
my first one, last one, only one.
Oh, I feel like that too. I feel one and done. My son is
That's
5.
perfect. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
talking, walking. I understand. Hmm. So yeah, I'm here listening. If you caught up, and then I can have more input. So
One thing you can do to catch up, you can listen to The Artist Way and The Creative Act, as an audiobook. If you have Spotify, you can listen to the audiobook Spotify Premium.
hmm
If not, you can catch it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure somebody has uploaded it. But yeah, that's how I catch up because as a mom, I'm always busy. I'm always
hmm
at work, and so I just put it in my headphones or listen to it while I'm driving. And but the physical book really helps to kind of like do a review and like see the words and then like look at the practices at the end. So yeah, but thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Oh, let's see. And then Ariel, I'll have you mute because it's echoing.
I'm trying to see how to mute it.
Okay, you just press the
There we go.
microphone button. Okay, thank y'all for sharing imaginary lives. Um, I only did my morning pages 2 times this week. But I did all 3 full pages, which is good. Um, my artist date got canceled. I was supposed to see Swamp Izzo on Friday. But I feel like he wasn't able to come because there were storms here in Texas, like how it was just hailing right now. And so he probably wouldn't have been able to get in or leave Texas. Um, but I feel like my artist date ended up being going to Neiman's to meet Alex Shalbov from a perfumer of the creator of Mind Games. Um, Kyra was with me, but I feel like in retrospect, I feel like because of my canceled artist day, I feel like that counted as an artist day because I got to meet the creator of Mind Games, and I love Mind Games fragrances. Um, Fragrance has been a fun art hobby for me. Like when I go to North Park, when I go to the mall, um, North Park to me is like it's not just a mall, it's like an art gallery because they have like art everywhere. They have all these like the plants and the basically how they have the plants and flowers set up, you can expect to see like a new flower design like every week. It's such a sight to see, and they're always staying with the seasons. It's so beautiful. And the designer stores in there are so fun to go to. We can watch the fashion shows online. You can go to the mall and look at the clothes that you just saw going on the runway. You get to touch them, you get to feel them. And so that has always been my thing with North Park. But lately, my thing with North Park has been fragrance. So I love to hear um, a fragrance description or like somebody talk about, oh, you have to try this. And then you go to the mall and you experience it, and it's like, wow, I don't smell the same things that this person is saying, or I do smell the same things that this person was saying. Um, it's like it's another form of art that is using the nose, which is so cool. Um, so yeah, that's been my thing. So I feel like my artist date this last week was um gonna see Alex at Mind Games. Um, my artist date for this week, I want to see the Young Boy documentary. I hope it's still in theaters. Um, there's like a post that announces all the theaters that it's at, but I wasn't sure if it was one day or not. But yeah, I love NBA Youngboy. Um, does anybody want to share what artist date they plan on doing this week? Or we can help you brainstorm if you haven't thought of anything.
I'm gonna do that video that I got, the Lester Horton dance warm-up video, because I've been wanting to just put on a leotard and do some movements and dance. So I'm gonna just do that. That's gonna be my artist day.
That's super cute. That is super cute. I love the intentionality of that too. Like putting on the leotard, because you can totally do it in your t-shirt and your boy shorts or whatever, but like really putting on the leotard is super cute and intentional. Does anybody else want to share their artist date this week?
I think I'm gonna go walking. One of the things that I remember I did in the first round was I used to go walk at the pond, and I would go back to work and I was like, yeah, let me tell you what the pond told me today. But it was just like how I connected and how I was able to just slow down and listen to just whatever I needed to hear. And then also I feel my best when I am having some kind of movement or exercise. So I feel like I need to give myself the gift of feeling my best. So I want to make sure that I'm going back to the pond.
I love that. That's so beautiful. I feel like when I go over week two, we can talk about nature because Julia talked about her mom's journal, and she called it the flora and fauna reports because her mom used to be like, oh, the roses are still growing even though it's hot outside and stuff like that. And I wanted to talk about how nature plays such an important part of like our creative recovery. Um, but I can relate to that too, Muriel. Yesterday, before I went shopping and stuff like that, like I haven't been doing my creative recovery. Like I've just been going shopping. But before I went shopping, I made sure that I went to like the stream. Like we have a park right around the corner, and it's been raining and storming, and I was like, "Oh, I have to go see the stream." Like cuz I love when the water's like gushing in. So the water wasn't really like strong like how I thought it was gonna be, but it was just really nice to go visit the water and just like connect with the elements in that way. And I love how you said, let me tell you what the pond told me, because it's like in those quiet moments, like there's so much that comes through, and I'm a firm believer that water is a divine messenger. So thank you. Does anybody else want to share their artist date? I think along with that, Muriel, I think I'm going to make it a weekly thing for me to go visit the water as well. Does anybody else want to share their artist
Sure.
date this week?
I'll share. Well, I'll just say also what I did last week because it was actually a big struggle, which is funny. I mean, she says that. It's like if you're having a hard time, that's a sign. Um, but so what I ended up doing for this past week was I did etheric garden. I don't know, Tiana, if you did etheric gardening. Yeah, you did. You just did one, right? I'm getting really loopy. But anyways, with all the, extra videos, there's one that's a hand drum video, and I literally bought this hand drum like 2 years ago. But there's like 2 hours of workshops, and I've been wanting to do it, but I just haven't made the time. So it's like I'm just gonna do the workshop as my artist date. It's just like there's not really any reason to do it other than I just want to. So I did that this week. In the final hour, I did it like last night. Um, and then this week, what I'm feeling is I'm feeling like making like cooking being my artist date, but also it being really about the vibe too, like having a good playlist, maybe lighting some candles, and then cooking. So that's my plan.
I love that. And that is such a good idea, making the etheric gardening modules an artist state, because it is a lot of content, and I really thought that I was going to go through each and every single step and module and stuff like that. So I also love that permission to just be able to revisit that. So thank you for that. That's such a good idea. Um, does anybody else want to share what they did last week and what they're gonna do this week? I'm gonna go get a plastic bag.
Heck,
You want to talk to the camera? Okay, you can go.
hey, Wispy.
Did he hear you?
Yes, but I couldn't hear him.
Is there anything else?
That's what I just wanted.
Oh, okay.
There's a baby. Look at the baby. Oh my God.
Okay, let's talk about the content of week 2. Um, week 2 is Going Sane, Poisonous Playmates, Crazymakers, Skepticism, Attention. Attention was the best one. I was looking for a chapter like that in Rick Rubin's book, and I think that the chapter that would fit the best would be Awareness. Uh, I think I started listening to it, but I'm not sure. But Poisonous Playmates. So I know last week I mentioned Backlash People because Callie brought it up in NIMS. And so I feel like Poisonous Playmates is a version of Backlash People. Basically, the first people that come to mind when you start to unblock yourself, um, how they're going to react to your sense of recovery. Um, she says that these people are still getting a payoff from remaining blocked. It can be a high from being a martyr. It can be they still collect sympathy and wallow in self-pity. That one is so real. She says these are toxic behaviors for you now. Um, which is so real because I feel like a lot of us are on a healing journey, so we kind of don't need this book to tell us that when you are trying to do better for yourself, you get those people that um are attached to you and tethered to you, uh and more so attached to old versions of you. So when you start changing, they want to bring you back to what is comfortable for them or the person that they may know. So yeah, I feel like Julia writing about that was just confirmation that those type of people exist. You're backlash people. So She says, don't expect your block friends to applaud your recovery. That's like expecting your best friends from the bar to celebrate your sobriety. Um, which is so which is so complicated because I experience that a lot when I tell people that I don't drink. Um, they'll either feel like, oh, you're trying to be better than me. Um, or they feel bad about how they want to stop drinking, but they haven't actually made the decision to do it. Um, it shows up in so many ways. I feel like it also happens when you're trying to eat right and you start saying, "Oh, I don't eat this anymore," and like it really like threatens people. Um, but I think that that happens because people, if it doesn't force people to look at themselves, but it is an invitation for people to look at themselves, and a lot of people may not be ready for that. So, a lot of people choose to stay asleep and yeah, I just feel like these principles that show up for creative recovery are so just prevalent in daily life. It just makes me think of how we pair this book with the creative act because it really is like a way of being. It's like once you choose to awaken to your creative gifts, or even once you just choose to heal in general, it's like there's no turning back. It's really like this creative recovery, basically what I'm trying to say is the same as enlightenment. Um, which is so fitting because I did a new moon reading for myself and I got raw enlightenment. Um, and that's also why Rick Rubin's book has the sun cover on it. So there's the so that's the message. That's the message. Creative recovery is a form of enlightenment. Ooh, yes, I can pull a card. I can show you all of the I can show you all of the card decks that I have. Um, maybe I can get on my phone and show you guys my entire reading. I'm like gagged over my reading. Um, hi, welcome. Your name says Grishby, but you're not Grishby. Your mic is on, but we can't hear you. Oh my goodness, Grishby, what you got going? Did Grishby like three-way somebody into Zoom?
I was literally thinking, I was like, it's a three-way Zoom.
What? The Matrix. Hi, Zaya. Zaya, why are you on Mr. Grishby's account? I'm so confused. Oh, he sent the link. He sent the confirmation link through his registration. Okay, I get it. I see. That is so interesting. But now what I don't get, so there must be something with your mic then. There must be something going on with your mic. So not necessarily you having Grishby's names. Are you on your phone? Okay. I don't know. I will maybe close the app and then come back in. I'm a singer-songwriter from Dallas. Welcome in. I feel like I've seen your face on Studio M. Right? Okay, cool. And you have a performance coming up. Yes. Oh, we gotta get your mic working. Maybe close the app and then restart it.
And allow, like, check to allow for the mic to be used.
Okay. But welcome in. Yes, y'all. Okay, so that's your Backlash People, aka Poisonous Playmates. We also have Crazy Makers. I am my own crazy maker. I learned that from Grishby last year when we did the artist way. I am my own crazy maker. Um, a good example is uh knowing that I need to be home to do this call. I when I picked up my son from his dad's, my son's dad said he had a blunt to smoke, so we smoked the blunt. That was probably like 20 minutes or whatever. When that 20 minutes could have been used to get back home and like not rush to get ready. And then a song that I like was playing. I almost was like, oh, okay, let me slow down my story. Then when I pull up to the apartment, to my house, a song that I like was playing right when I parked. And I almost told myself, oh, I'll just wait till the end of the song to and then I'll get out the car. Like little decisions like that, little decisions like that or drive me crazy. Like because they make me late, and then I'm flipping out because I'm running late, and then I get irritated, and so I am my own crazy maker. But all of my aside from me, all of my crazy makers in my life have been my exes. I sound like Drake or something. Um, um, but yeah, those are crazy makers. Some people's crazy maker is their mom. Um, and then again, some people's crazy maker is themselves. Like I'm so glad that Grishby said that because I can relate to that. Um, okay, Zaya, is your mic working? You can press the
Let's
mic
see.
button.
Am I here? I'm
Yay!
here. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to change my name at some point. But hi, y'all. I was here last week, but my camera was off and it said Mr. G, and y'all thought I was Mr. G, and then Mr. G was actually here.
Oh,
So it was
okay.
just confusing. But yeah, I couldn't like come off of mute or be on camera. Like I'm a mom, so it was just like not the best time for me. But I'm happy to be here. Sorry to interrupt. But yeah, and just speaking towards like the crazy makers, definitely. I mean, do you want me to give my quick spiel on that? Okay. Okay. Just I definitely went through that. I guess it's just no better time to just be super transparent, but like, so with me, I like have recently been like divorced and lost my house and car and all of those things. Then bought my own house on my own and bought my own car on my own, and then like bounced back. And basically, what happened is, me and my ex-husband, we came up in music together and like had all of this success and all of that. But like he was definitely one of the crazy makers. Like it was always like he's the star and I'm not quite there yet, or constantly like putting me down or making me feel like I'm not enough, or there's more that I need to learn or more I need to prove, or I don't look like this, or I don't look like a star, or I'm not, and this is somebody that you that's supposed to love you, that like you feel like this is your best friend, and you just don't think that they would ever try to do anything to um intentionally hurt you, and then to find out things that like intentionally like doing things like so I'm a songwriter, and so like getting booked like with like Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce and like Lotto and like all of these big artists, and I would be writing, and it would be like, but well, you write it, and then I'll like him saying like, well, I'll rap it because like I'm more popular than you, so they'll be more receptive to take the songs if like it's my voice. And it was, but you're like, oh, okay, you're making it like, oh, that makes sense, I guess. You just don't until you just realize like, oh, like you don't want me to win. Like you don't. And so it's been my creative journey. And after leaving that relationship and getting out of that house and that mentality, getting away from that record label who also like helped fuel the fire in that, I just knew that like I did not want to give up on music. And I did not want to give up on my own dreams that I had for myself. I've been playing piano since I was 4 years old, way before I even knew who he was. So this career isn't something that he gave to me, and it's damn sure nothing that he can take away from me. And knowing that, like what Julia says, even like from the very beginning, that like a lot of times we don't think that our creativity is something that God cares about, and He does. Like when I started trusting myself, when I started writing again for myself, when I started, and Mr. G is like so um pivotal because like I was getting my hair done. I was like, I need to get my hair done. I'm going through a lot. And like, and just that push of like, don't overthink it, just release it. And like I didn't have the first few releases that I did last year after leaving my husband and everything. Ex-husband is like, there was no cover art. Like I didn't have no budget to shoot no pretty photos, like black background, white text. Like this is the music, just put it out. And like the way my life has just like continuously began to elevate. And to your point, like on Saturday, May 9th, like I just booked my first headlining show as an artist. Like not a songwriter, not a backup dancer, not a backup background, not a cheerleader, which all those things are beautiful. But and I was signed to a record label for like over half a decade. Never got me booked for a headlining show. I was always like, I was just never a priority. Thank you guys so much in the comments. And so it just really means a lot to me, regardless of what happens at the show, who shows up, who doesn't show up, just seeing my name on a flyer and my picture on a ticket link. Like you go to like click the tickets here and it's like Zaya's face and hair by Studio M and my SMS extensions. And I'm just like, okay. So those are those confirmations that like God really sees me, because I just feel like if I was taking those steps, like it's like those little confirmations that that you're on the right path. Like I really feel like if I wasn't on the right path, maybe I would be sick all the time, or I wouldn't be getting booked, or maybe nobody would like it, or I don't know. But I just feel like the way things are slowly progressing is letting me know that God really does care about our creativity, like in whatever lane that is. Like he wants us to use our gifts. Like he wants us to share the gift. Like I think it's a quote too, like our 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 creative ability is like God's gift to us, but what we do with it is our gift back to him. That's another way to serve. That's another way to worship. That's another way to praise, is through you doing what God told you to do, doing your art, doing your thing, whether that's cooking, whether that's taking care of your kids in a creative way and coming up with fun games for them, whether that's singing, doing hair, modeling, landscaping, like whatever medium like God gave you, like use it. And ironically enough, and I'm gonna close because nobody asked for all this. Y'all like, who is this girl? Just nobody asked for this. But ironically enough, when I started like betting on myself, like, okay, I'm gonna be creative, y'all. everything I've been writing about has been about God. Like I'm an R&B singer. So I'm singing about love and this and that. Baby, I'm over here talking about everything will be okay. God can turn your life around like magic. What are my other songs? Like staying soft, like even in hard times. Like every song that I've been making is like encouragement about God, or it's a conversation between me and God. It's uplifting. And I'm not even trying to, I didn't sit there and be like, I'm gonna sing about God. Like that's just what's coming out of me. So that's how I know it's like, okay, God, you want me to sing about you? Per. You want me to tell the people what you did? Per. I'm cool with it. And I'm gonna keep making that music until, maybe I will write more love songs in the future, but that ain't where my head. I ain't thinking about it, man, right now, honey. I'm thinking about all that the Lord has done for me. And I just want to share it and I don't know, just be obedient in my art and my creativity. So that's my spiel. And yeah, get those naysayers. What is in the book? Get them people out your life. Get them up
The
out your
crazy
and
makers.
crazy. They will make you literally crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you, Zaya. The Ankh, when you were talking, this is like another form of the cross. So when you started talking about bro, I'm like, back, back, back. Because like, oh, I don't know if you heard it, but I was sharing how all my exes have been my biggest haters. So, I don't know what it is about these men these days, but their men are so creatively blocked more than ever, and it seems like they just want to like extract from women. And he was probably in a way using your creative, your feminine creative energy, like your Shakti. Like he was probably like feeding off of that. But I'm so happy to hear that you're divorced. Yes, and that once you started remembering yourself and calling your energy back to yourself, that you were able to tap into your creative channel. So all that stuff started pouring in, and you really like you reached Girl, she said 1, 2, 3, you release them. Yes. Um, it's like I remember my doula when I was giving birth, she kept saying, "Reach down and get your baby. Reach down and get your baby." And I feel like that's like a mantra that I hear whenever I start forgetting about myself. Like you gotta bear down. She said bear down and get your baby. And I'm like, you really have to like do whatever it takes to recover yourself. And and how Kyra brought up, Julia said the artist is your baby. The artist that you're recovering is your baby. So bear down and get your baby. I'm so glad that you recovered yourself, and thank you for your share. And then I also wanted to say, your you're in you're in your Radha expression. I got this card today. Um, when I was pulling cards for the new moon, and Radha is the consort of Krishna. So like uh Krishna is like the Hindu version of Jesus. And so she was so obsessed with Krishna, like that was her lover. And so what she represents is when you long for God, like when you don't even need a lover. Like you long for the love of God. And so when you're saying that all of your songs have been about God, I can totally see you making R&B style songs, but the whole time you're talking about God. Like those are my favorite type of gospel songs. Like it can sound secular, but those songs are really devotional. Like I love devotional. Yes, Kyra said she was thinking the same thing too. Like I love devotional songs that really make it seem like God is your lover, because God is that. Like so yeah, so that card that I showed you, um is a form of yoga called the Bhakti path when you're a devotee of God to where you just want to go everywhere and just tell the goodness of the Lord. So yeah, I'm happy that you were here to share that and express that. And that's so inspiring. That's so inspiring. So thank you. I want to put Maya on the mic. Maya, are you able to turn your camera on?
I'm not able to turn my camera on, but hey, how's everybody
Hey,
doing?
I'm so glad that you're able to join. Whenever you are able to turn your camera on, um, let us see you and who you are. That way everybody can like really be able to experience you because we are on Zoom and it's just so limited. But if you're comfortable, do you want to share with us what brings you to the book circle and what you're wanting to recover?
Okay. Well, I was just gonna creep on in and just be a little fly on the wall, but hey, Tiana, we go back, and so you've been my girl, and we've talked about like you creating spaces like this for a long time. So first of all, shout out to you. I'm giving you your flowers for creating the space, okay? And then hey, and then yeah, I'm just as you know, I'm a stylist. I dance, um, and I've been feeling a block lately. I've been needing a push to a little bit more like I'm seeking community. I mean, you can do it alone. I prefer isolation, but I'm trying something new with joining a space that like-minded people may be feeling the same thing, and just for community. And then, of course, I've had the artist way. I've had it for a while. Like Tiana, I think you were there when I told you I had bought it, and so I'm just wanting to join a conversation, get to know new people, support my girl, of course, and then yeah, just that's about it.
Thank you, Maya. Y'all, Maya is so talented. Maya choreographed my burlesque show, my very first burlesque show. She choreographed it, and she's so talented. Like she's like the best dancer ever. Like them girls that be like uh in LA they dance in that one LA room and they be looking a mess. Like Maya can really, really dance. Like she can really outdo them and it comes so naturally to you, Maya. So I really hope that this book circle really helps you to push through and unblock that. I love your vulnerable share about isolation. Somebody said in the last call that the theme this year is a group project. So you're going to get there faster with the help of other people. So I'm so glad that you pulled yourself out of the isolation bubble because it's there to serve a purpose, but then we all know when it's time to come out and everything. So I'm so excited and I'm so excited to see you grow. And I'm so excited to see everybody grow.
I appreciate
Um,
that. Thank you. And to the young woman that expressed and shared herself with us just before this, I came in the middle, but girl, I caught a word. Thank you. That was so inspiring. A lot of times you'll think your situation is like just, it's just you, the only one going through it. But to, know that other people are experiencing life right along. So again, thank you for sharing and what an amazing, beautiful story, girl. Keep going. I'm rooting for you, sister.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I love that our names rhyme, not Maya and Zaya, girl. Yeah. Now we locked in.
we got Maya, Zaya, Ariel, and Ariel. I love it. I love it. The next part of the book is skepticism. I don't feel like any of us feel skeptical that like this stuff works, right? Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Whenever she talks about like that type of stuff, I'm like, I just imagine like this really like left brain white man that's like, please, but like our group, nah. So I feel like we can like skip over that. Okay, and so I really wanted to talk about the attention portion of week 2 because she talks about her grandmother's um, diary and her attention to detail. And I love how grandmother was writing about nature because, like when Muriel brought up her walks to the pond, I was like, nature is such an important part of creative recovery because nature is a great reset. Um, the thing I love about plants is that they're always regenerating. Like you can put a plant in a pot and throw some rocks and concrete over it, and there's like still gonna be like some form of green like popping up through it. Like it's just always, I don't want to say fighting for its life because nature is always allowing, but it's always moving towards life. Three, what are you doing? You left the refrigerator open. My son is such a teenager, y'all. Like he's just in his room on his tablet and he just grabbed some juice. Like he's just so just older. Here you go. He said he's 5.
No.
But yeah, nature is really that girl, and that brings me to our next homework for that we'll review in week 3. Rick Rubin has a chapter called Nature as Teacher. So we can listen to that this week, and then we'll go over it in week 3. Um, but yeah, I want us to to challenge ourselves to get out in nature more, which should be easy because it's summertime. Well, it's spring moving into summer. Um, and just allow nature to help you slow down and yeah, pay attention to what's going on. I love how on page 55 it says the poet William Meredith has observed that the worst that can be said of a man is that he did not pay attention. And that is so true. I tend to loathe people who aren't attentive. Um, I get really annoyed when people aren't paying attention because I tend to notice everything. And I'm like, how can you not see that? Um, and yeah, I also know that attention is currency, and I feel like in this age we're fighting, everything is fighting for our attention. So as we move through this week, um, we'll just be mindful of what takes our attention because in task number 2 on page 56, she asked, where does your time go? List your 5 major activities this week. How much time did you give each one? Which were what you have wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I think that that is a call to really pay attention to where your time and energy goes. Um, and also when she said when her mom died, um, no, actually, right before she says that her mom died, she sees that she wrote a lot about pain. But one of the things about that, she comes through on the other side and realizes that each moment was not without beauty. So even though we may be going through painful things in the moment, the being present is like the most beautiful thing that can happen to just being alive. So I want to work with that this week. And I want to take it a step further by I want to take it a step further and by just being like with what it is that I'm dealing with now. I feel like this, y'all, I want to make I want to make a landing page for us so we can like post things. Like if we find things along this journey that we can post it and share with each other. Because I want to share with y'all the David Hawkins scale of consciousness. Because when we're not, I can show y'all right now. So you won't be able to read the words, but this is what it looks like. I got this from Miriam when I was watching a NEMS episode from like 2018. Um, but towards the bottom is where you get like low scale consciousness, and then towards the top is where you get high scale consciousness. And so where we want to be, like in order to be in the creative flow, we basically want to be funnel open. So all the channeling that's coming through for our creative stuff can be open. When we're lower down here, we're more constricted and we're not able to receive our creative channelings. And so Julia and Rick Rubin talk about how your creativity does not come from you, like it's channeled through you. So God is like constantly feeding you this stuff. But when you're in the lower frequencies, um, the lower channels, I'm sorry, when you're in the lower frequencies, you're not able to receive the channel. You're not able to receive the channeling. So the the frequencies that are down here are shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, inner light, inner wisdom. And then presence is right here in between the blue and the purple. Zaya says, that's exactly how I feel when I write songs. I don't feel like I'm saying it. Exactly. What's so crazy about this creative stuff is like when you finally put out the work, it's like in a weird way, it feels like you've known it forever. It's kind of like having a child. It's like your child is born, you feel like your child has always been around. Um, Even at one point they didn't used to exist. And then also when you put a song out or when you put a piece of work out, it feels like it has like its own force, and it feels like it has its own uh universe, its own it's really its own, and that's because it was channeled through you. And then Rick Rubin talks about if you don't channel it, if you when you get the message and you don't put it out or you don't work on it the moment that it drops in, somebody else is going to channel it. And so like people be like, "Oh man, they stealing my ideas." And it's like, "No, God gave you God gave you the thing and you didn't act on it." And so it had to be put out somewhere. So the thing is it's like it's gonna get done. So I'll try to find where he said that in the book because man, I think it may be the vessel and the filter. I think it may be the vessel and the filter, but we'll find it. We'll find it. Yeah, so yeah, people be saying like people steal their ideas. No. Like it had to been put out somewhere. And all these times that I've been personally holding out on putting out my creative stuff, I've been seeing so many songs that I've written. I didn't seen so many just embodiments of myself that I didn't act upon, and now I see it like it had to be put somewhere. So hopefully that makes sense. Zaya said, it feels like God is asking me to do it, otherwise I'll lose it. Yes, like it's also one of those things too, like in comedic cosmology, when when you're on your way to heaven and Ma'at weighs your heart, you don't wanna you don't wanna die and like Ma'at weighs your heart and your heart is heavy because you didn't choose to like act upon what God had asked you to do creatively. So I feel like I have so much more to say about that. But it's already 8:04. But anyway, so presence is in between the purple and the blue. And so as you move to presence, the funnel is open so you can channel more. So what's at the full top is full consciousness. But yeah, I'm gonna find a way to make a landing page. I think I'm gonna make a Google Classroom so I can post that in there and then we can talk about that because I be using this to like orient where I'm at. And so uh basically how Julia talks about attention, I'm going to do my best to move up here because I be down here, which is so sad. I'm sorry. I be down here, which is so sad. I tend to dwell in the desire realm. And I don't like that for me because the desire realm is still purgatory. So you have hell. Hell is shame, guilt, apathy, grief, and fear. But I don't purgatory is like a nightmare. Like I feel like purgatory is like what Miriam calls Groundhog Day. Like you just keep living the same day over and over. And then like for me, my desire cycle is um oh, I want this perfume. Then I go get the perfume and it's just like, oh, okay. Oh, I want this other perfume. And then it's just never ending. And then I have all these perfumes and then I'm like, I'm not even enjoying all of the perfumes that I have. And then like I told Kyra, I don't want to be like those ladies in the Facebook group with like they have a whole mall for perfume and they don't use them and they keep buying more and more and more. So yeah, I don't want that to be me. Um and so presence, I'm basically using this as a real life example. Presence for me would be going into my sample closet and like smelling all of my samples, using my samples. And then it's like I really like something, then I'll invest time and energy into getting like a full bottle of what I like. So I'm so happy also for fragrance for being like this fun way to interact with life. Um, but yeah, attention. Everything is fighting for our attention these days. Um, so when you have proper energy management, you're able to take ownership of your attention. And I feel like that's going to be our biggest strength throughout this book club. Does anybody want to add anything to the attention part?
Well, I definitely think like it's just true. Like I feel like the way her grandmother was like, just like writing and like paying attention to like the little things. That's something that's really big for me. Um like just going out in my backyard and just be quiet. Like your grandma, like go sit down somewhere and be quiet. Like I think it definitely helps to ground me and then pairing that with what you said about nature. Nature is so grounding. Like, and sometimes I feel like when life gets super busy and just like running from here to there, and you got this meeting and that, and then you're cooking dinner, and it's like it's been 2 days. Like, have I really been outside? Like, have I like breathed fresh air today? And like a lot of times, I don't know the science or anything like that, but I just know a lot of times all of this like anxiety that I'm feeling, I just feel like very tight and anxious, and I can't even like put my finger on why. And then like I just go outside. Um, and I have to like put my phone away, like don't go outside and then be on socials because then I walk back in the house and I feel just as anxious. Like if I actually like just be, it definitely it brings me back to center. And one of the things I've been doing as well is I bought a word puzzle book, just like where you like find the word in the thing and circle it. And I feel like that's been my like attention practice because you have to like zone in to focus on finding the word. So it blocks out everything else, I guess. And it almost like a active meditation because I guess when you meditate, you're trying to like silence the noise. So this like zooms me in on this word puzzle, and I'm hearing the birds chirping, and I'm feeling the breeze on my face, and I'm just looking for apple. Like that's all. Where is the word apple in this puzzle? And that has been, I know that's like very grandma-ish, but baby, when I tell you that be feeling like smoking a cigarette, like I'm like, whew, okay, I feel better. I feel better.
Oh my God, that's such a good idea. Like, I think like for me, if I start just ruminating about fragrance, I'll probably like print out a fragrance word search and be like, Givenchy is circling.
That's cute. I like that idea.
Yes, yes, because it's like a part of you still wants to interact in that world, but also still wanting to be still, and then also like not compulsively buying and all that type of stuff. I love that idea. And then that also makes me want to print out a word search for other things that I want to anchor in. Like like how you said meditation, like I like Egyptian stuff, so maybe I'll print out like an Egyptian word search or something. I love that. Thank you. Yes, Ariel.
I've just been thinking, I guess this is like intention more than attention, but maybe both. But I've just been thinking about how I think of creativity as more feminine energy, but then I think of the structure of creativity, of like making sure you have time in your day for creativity as more of the masculine side. And I think that's something that I need to improve on is like really, and I think that it's like week two information of or intention of like where does your time go? Like I'm like, how did all my time go? And now I have no time. And with singing and stuff, I'm like have been studying more technique and like the warm-ups and stuff, they take a while. It's not like when I first was playing around, I'd be like, oh yeah, 15 minutes is fine. It's like no, and to really get into the zone, like you need some time, and so I've been really thinking about like how I can figure out a way that doesn't feel too constricted with my time because so much structure sometimes makes me feel crazy. But if I'm like, okay, I do this like always in the morning, I'm doing these things to then feel good for my day, then maybe doing like work for however long, and then like my creative time or whatever, like making sure that it's all that there's time each day really to like go deeper into it. And then again, like being intentional with our time and not being just like, yeah, at the end of the day, I have no idea where my time went. Like I just talked to this person way too long that I didn't really want to talk to. And I could have just been like, I have to go and then go home and actually have time for my creativity. So really almost, I guess, treating it again like a date with ourselves, that our relationship with ourselves is important, and these things that we're committing to is a priority. It's not like after, like, oh yeah, well, the neighbor came over and I felt bad. It's like, oh no, I have something actually now. Like treating it that way. Like, I sorry, I have something planned now. So yeah.
Speaking of boundaries, guess who else came through? Guess who else came through? It says Ishtar boundaries. So like, ooh,
Juicy.
it's so juicy, it's hidden. The readings always
Oh,
be hidden.
that goes to the point of that I was thinking about saying something about attention and how me and you have talked about how a lot of well y'all would know this, like all the information is typically in the subtle anyway. So in order to see that, you do have to be grounded and attentive to that which is okay. You have to be grounded and attuned to that which is subtle. And this lady named Pema Chodron talks about meditation. And I know where it's saying, I know Zaya just said about something about meditation that made me think about bringing this up, but the way that Pima describes it is just like being there with all of it. So that means that maybe a thought that is, distracting might come to you. You just have to, like, the information and attention to the fact that you're distracted can inform you on how to basically the root of your distraction or how you get distracted. So therefore, you're not veering off, or if you do find yourself going in that direction with your awareness, you're just able to come back to your breath in the form of meditation, or you're just able to come back to your task at hand or your intention, which is, ooh, I'm getting excited to, for me, for instance, because Julia has this exercise too where she talks about something, our distractions and whatever that is, but it's like a pleasurable distraction. So for me, that would be like scrolling on my phone, looking at vintage clothing or vintage this, vintage that, just getting lost in clothing and fashion and styles and people and places and things and all of that. That's fun. That's creative, but I'm not necessarily doing anything, So it's like, okay, notice when let me notice when I'm doing that and bring myself back to my intention. Okay, I need to focus on this. That's a thing, but it's secondary. So, yeah, I think like meditation does help in a bigger picture, but it's also so subtle. Our attention is kind of fragile in that kind of way. Not fragile, but like teeny. It can be so tiny, so micro, and all these little micro things are distracting us. I mean, a notification to your phone of Reddit could just send your mind like, oh, now I'm thinking about this. You weren't, that's none of your business. It's like that's not even your business. Like focus on your business. So that's kind of my 2 cents.
Oh my God, so real. I wish everybody in the book club could get a subscription to NIMS because I feel like it's so it works alongside like all these teachings. Because like
They
you said,
all go together.
they all go together, like how you said, basically energy leaks. Energy leaks. And then Ariel said follow the breadcrumbs. Like Follow the Breadcrumbs 3.0 is tomorrow. And I was telling Kyra about, I was like, bro, if you don't catch up on any NIMS, please catch up on Follow the Breadcrumbs because it's like Miriam has been going in. And yeah, I just wish I could put it into more words because I am really excited, but I do feel like those energy work teachings and learning about energy dynamics. So for everyone, like if you don't know Cindy Dale already, like type in Cindy Dale, get you some Cindy Dale books. It don't matter which one. Just grab one because she's literally like a surgeon for like the energy body. And then Kyra, you made me think of The Power of Now. Like The Power of Now is such a supplemental book to the creative act, to the artist's way, because just like what Julia's talking about attention, like it's basically just being in the now and the power of now. Oh my God. That book gets me right every time. Yes, by Eckhart Tolle, that one. Because whenever I read that book, I be like, dang, I be tripping. Like I just be like just really just willing myself against the flow and the tide of the current, and I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that because when I really tune into what is going on, I'm perfectly okay. Like I'm perfectly fine. And that's basically what Julia says too. So, oh, there's so many book clubs to do. I want to do The Power of Now. I want to do You're a Badass at Making Money, and I want to do Why Men Love Bitches too. I feel like we need to get into these men, and then Kyra wants to do what's it called? King
King,
Warrior.
warrior, magician, lover with women who run with the wolves.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so good. I feel like that could be like, no, that would be too many books. Because if you threw Why Men Love Bitches in there, that will probably be like
It
a
could be like
good.
a three-part situation where you join
Hmm.
the first one and you go here, then you go like that.
Oh, Ariel says she does bibliomancy with women who run with wolves. Oh
Every
my
time
God.
I feel the same way every time. I'll just look at the content and I'll be like, okay, I want to read. Hold on, let me turn my light on. I'll be like, oh, I want to read this specific this one, and it's always, I'm talking about
Oh my gosh.
always on time. Like I couldn't have picked a better chapter at that time in my life. It'd be on point every single time.
Oh
I
my
every
gosh.
single time.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to get my copy.
I know.
Like,
I was so happy that I found. I was like, oh,
because that book
you
is
can
hard. Like,
look.
you can't just like type it in. There's like audiobooks are hard to find. It's just complicated. It's just like a complicated book to have. So,
It's so long. And then earlier when Ariel was talking about the medicine woman in the
mhm.
it that reminded me of that book. So I'm glad it just kind of came up. So that's cool.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get that landing page started. That way we can just go all in and like post everything that we want to talk about. We can share our work with each other and stuff like that. Um, yeah, because there's so much to talk about. There's like an endless amount of things to talk about.
Totally.
Um,
The question you said the homework for the
yes, the
for
homework.
what is the page?
Yes. So the homework for the creative act is to read Nature as Teacher. So you can do Nature as Teacher on Spotify, audiobook, Audible, or you can go to page 51. Page 51 in the book. There's 78 chapters or 78 areas of thought. And then also read awareness. So read the Nature as Teacher chapter on page 51 and the awareness chapter on page 19. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm ready to close out. I feel like again, there's so much to talk about and yeah, me and three gotta get ready for bed. Um, but yeah, y'all, does anybody else want to add anything? Oh, you know what? I can close out with the week two rules of the road, which is on page 55. The one that stood out the most for me was number 5. So she starts off with number 1. In order to be an artist, I must show up at the page, use the page to rest, to dream, to try. Number 2, fill the well by caring for my artists. Number 3, set small and gentle goals and meet them. Number 4, pray for guidance, courage, and humility. Number 5, remember that it is far more harder and more painful to be a blocked artist than it is to do the work. That is why I had to start this book club in general because I was basically I don't like how my life is going not doing the work. So, you got to do the work. Number 6, be alert always for the presence of the great creator, leading and helping my artists. I feel like Zaya uh, told a beautiful story to really land that point. Number 7, choose companions who encourage me to do the work, not just talk about doing the work or why I'm not doing the work. Beautiful. Remember that the great creator loves creativity, loves it, loves it. Um, Remember that it is my job to do the work, not judge the work. And number 10, place this sign in my workplace. Great creator, I will take care of the quantity. You take care of the quality. Um, yeah, I'm still thinking about how I feel about that. I feel like I don't quite understand what that means, but I feel like it'll come to me eventually.
The way I'm
Yeah.
seeing that
Mm-hmm.
is like um practice making progress, like by
Mm,
way of literally just you doing the work, however many times it takes you to do the work, God will
mm,
work out the kink of the quality of that work. Like we see with many artists, like they're, I mean, it typically goes like this. Yeah, they get more resources, but just think of it like God's quality, the resources of that is like, okay. You just
mm.
keep doing it, and I'll help you out on your way there in terms of refining and polishing your work. I think that's what I understand it as.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So just put it out. Don't worry about it says where where'd it go? Okay, yeah, I take care of the quantity, you take care of the quality.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, or yeah, or vice versa. Yeah. I
Yeah.
read that backwards, but I mean you could swap it around too. I read it as like you take care of the quantity, I'll take care of the quality, but I still feel like
Hmm.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, what you said made totally sense. So yeah.
And it goes to number 3 of set small, gentle goals and meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel like putting those reps in or people talk
Mm-hmm.
about the 10,000 hours like and over time like the quality will like work out itself or like even I can say like from a songwriting perspective since that's like what I do is like uh I write a lot on GarageBand or even like voice memo, right? So it's like the quantity is being put out. I'm just like creating, oh, I hear this idea. Oh, I hear this. Oh, I hear that. And over time, it turns into a song. It could have been like sometimes I just hear a melody, but if I keep writing melodies or I keep writing hooks or I keep writing a few lines, eventually a song is going to come out and then I go to the recording studio and now it's like there's more quality and then somebody's like, oh, have you thought about recording here, and now I'm recording on better equipment, and have you that's how I've seen it already kind of play out in my life, just in that way. So I agree with Kyra, am I saying it right? Yeah, with Kyra, like I think I I agree with Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so glad you're here and I definitely want to create because music is my recovery. Um I yeah, I want to go to making songs on my phone and stuff like that. So yeah, a landing page, we gonna post and share everything with each other. So yeah, y'all, thank you. Thank you for your input. Thank you for all showing up and then those who weren't able to make it to this call. Hopefully you are able to keep up with us and stuff like that. And you're um keeping up. And yeah, continue to write the morning pages. Make sure you're taking your artist dates, and we will check back in on Monday. I don't know the date on next Monday, but yeah. Okay, bye, y'all.
The fourth.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, May 4th.
Okay. All right.
Yay.
Bonsoir.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Adios.